Welcome to Carlton North. My mum, sister and I moved here only a few months ago, so we're very new to the area. This here is our house, and this is our street. You can see that all of the houses are of a terrace style, some with 2 stories and some with 1. A great feature of our street is the median strip, which provides a space where people can sit and socialise together. Our task for this semester was to modify our own homes in order to cater for a hypothetical visitor who was to live in our home temporarily. My visitor is our 16-year-old cousin Thomas, who unfortunately was in a car accident and as a result of this was bound to a wheelchair. He's going to stay with us for 1 year whilst his home undergoes some major renovations. With this in mind, I began to investigate the surrounding context through a lens of accessibility. It was quick to come to my attention that the front entry to the majority of terrace houses in the area, including our house, were impossible to access with a wheelchair. The front yard didn't offer nearly enough space to implement a ramped system, which led me to further investigate the suburb's laneways as a means of access to the home. After exploring many of the surrounding laneways, it came to my attention that many people are utilising this space already. Some laneways are full of pot plants and planter boxes. In an area where space is at a premium, the laneway has become a space for people to extend their backyard. I couldn't help but draw a connection between the laneway and the median strip. The terrace front yard is one which lacks green space, so the median strip acts almost as an extension of the front yard, allowing people to sit on some grass under a tree and enjoy themselves. If the laneway could act as an extension of the backyard, then the existing backyard could become a transitional space for Thomas to enter the house. As you can see from the drawings, there would be a ramp structure which provided access to the house, but there would still be enough room for a private sitting space in the backyard. There would also be potential to open the backyard to the laneway, extending out into the public realm and using the space on offer. In order to make sure the laneway is more functional, especially for those in a wheelchair, the bluestone would be cut and relaid to allow for universal use of the space. If each house in the laneway adopted this approach to accessing their house, then the laneways would become the new primary point of access, and as a result of this, the front of the house would be more passive in its use. The laneway would be activated to provide a space which had multiple uses. Currently, the lane acts essentially as a gutter for the stormwater from adjacent houses. I imagined that design intervention could use the stormwater as a way of watering planter boxes in the laneway. The stormwater could also be used to help maintain the areas of grass that are to be introduced to the laneway. Given that it would be the primary access point, I imagine the letterboxes could be moved to the laneway also, and in doing so they would further promote interactions between neighbours. Another way of adding further infrastructure to the laneway would be to run power from the home to the laneway. Doing this would allow even greater use of the space, like you can see here in the section showing people using a projector to watch a movie in the laneway. As I mentioned earlier, the front yard would become passive in its use. I decided to use the front of the house as a site for my 1-to-1 prototype. The porch initially was a step down from the finished floor level of the house, but I introduced a deck which would bring the porch height equal with the floor height of the house, allowing universal access to the total site for our cousin Thomas. Again, it was important that the modification benefit not just Thomas but the rest of the house, and from the photos you can see that it is a space to be enjoyed by everyone.